What is up, LC heads? So this is my Evil Rei build. Specifically, it is an Evil Rei build that is not eating up the Trisla pistol. That's kind of important to me. Well, frankly, because if I want to throw Rei into a party with like Sheeta might want that pistol. You know what I mean? So it's for me, it's important just to have a solid build for him with some gear that I have laying around that isn't really getting used that much, right? This is stuff that can just kind of stay on Rei. This is how I'm keeping him in the default format, right? Unless I have to change some things around. But we do have 120 out of 120 of his abilities unlocked. We're just waiting to awaken him. Like what? We have 100 out of 400, right? And obviously we still need to get his ward ability. So I'm about, 500 shards away, right? But he's getting to his end game form here, right? I'm going to be able to pump out his stats a little bit from leveling him up, right? And a ward, right? He's pretty much set where he is. I wish I pulled some dupes of him. Would definitely be nice to have some dupes of him. I'm just happy enough to have the character. And I'm happy enough that I was, completely wrong with the very first out-of-the-box video I did with Rei. I just wasn't getting it. The guy needs a debuff. He needs a damn debuff on him. If there's no debuffs on him, if there's no status breaks, no status ailment breaks, no debuffs of any sort on him at all, he just does not get to use his trait. He just, the second half of it, like the flinch-proof part of it, the most important part of it that will just affect you so much, will just be null and void. It just will not exist, right? Because if you don't have a break on you or a debuff, you have no chance of flinch resistance through magic. If you do have it on you, you're fucking Gucci, baby. It's awesome because it doesn't really matter what element of magic it is. Now, Divine Beast Rei, he is flinch-proof. He is flinch-proof through lightning element magic and through ice element magic. So that's awesome. It really is. It's a great strong point for Divine Beast Rei. The problem is people start throwing earth magic. They start throwing fire magic. They start throwing all sorts of effing magic. Hey, non-elemental magic. It does exist, right? Well, this guy can technically flinch-proof through that because it is a magic, right? He is not locked into only being able to flinch-proof through two elements. And a lot of heroes can only flinch-proof through like one element, right? So you kind of have to match stuff like that up. So being able to flinch-proof through the whole plethora of magic elements is really, really effing good. And just how strong Rei gets right towards the end of a fight is really, really good. So speaking of which, we'll go through his skill set. And actually, one of the things that I realized I need to make room for, and it might kind of sound silly, but this is just the way that I'm thinking about it. What Rei doesn't come with, which is actually kind of a basic-ass ability. Let's see, I think it costs 5 SC. Illusion, the one that gives you a chance to evade. And I know you're like, why? Why would we care about that? Right? Why would we care about, illusion. Chance of evading physical attacks. Why would I want that on so bad? I've been thinking about this. So it's just going to add to the flinch-proofness of the character, right? So Rei can flinch-proof through magic. Great. The problem is when there's some physical attacks in there, his kit is still kind of like the big money makers are still kind of sluggish to throw. Right, you can start dumping his S2 in the middle of a Shining Zoc, and you'll at least get the first hits of it in, and it's usually going to be worth it. But to get the very last hits from the S2, those are probably going to get cut off, right? But you're at least getting some damage in there, so it's good. right? The thing is, he doesn't have any flinch proof to physical damage. So now there's a Shining Zot going off, and you're like, cool, I can flinch proof through this. But then say there's some physical attacks going off in the background too. Those will interrupt you. So being able to just evade an attack, right? If you're evading it, it's not hitting you, it's not stopping you. That is just a way to make it harder to interrupt you with physical attacks. Yeah, they're still going to get through, they're still going to interrupt you, but I feel like you are going to have an easier time of actually getting to throw your kit and getting more damage out there, right? You know, you using illusion to dodge something right when you're throwing your S2 and not getting it interrupted, right? That's substantial damage that you're getting out there. So yeah, I think that's important for him. I think probably quite a few people will overlook that. But I actually think it can make him more flinch proof, especially like in a pinch in the heat of it where he's supposed to excel. Now, if I'm wrong about this and it doesn't work like that, leave me a comment, because I'm just talking about things that I'm working on and I'm testing. Obviously, we didn't have room with our SC for that. In fact, let's see. I don't think I put besties on him yet. I'm sure he knows it. You know, let's just go through this. We'll start at the very top. There's no stat boost on him, I don't think. The only one SC ability is fast speed. I think that helps Rei, because if you run out of your S1 and you need to get within a range to drop your S2, just having speed on you helps, right? It's not going to hurt him, that's for sure. I take it over high speed shopkeeper, right? Because with high speed shopkeeper, you lose your movement boost as soon as damage is taken. So it's really, yeah, I would just rather have actual speed cast on you. It's only one SC, no big deal. We do have the spear equip. So yeah, for me, the reason I went with the spear is because of a spear style that I have for 9 SC that not only gives Rei just 15% more damage, but it also gives him a piercing effect, and a piercing effect costs like 6 SC by itself, and I don't see any other piercing effects or effects that negate enemy guards in Rei's kit. And if you really think about it, Rei's going to be trying to kill bosses, and a lot of bosses and nasty shit like that, they're going to guard, right? So that is one thing that they did not give Rei. I didn't see any piercing type abilities. Maybe there's some built in passively to some of his custom abilities that I'm just missing, but I didn't see too much piercing or anything like that. So getting that spear style, I think it's worth it. If he's rocking a spear, that would be the first thing that I would do. If you're gonna put a spear on him, after you spend the 2 SC on the spear equip, go down and spend the 9 SC on the Kiru spear style. We'll get down to it when we scroll. And I think that alone makes having the spear worth it. Backstab and stuff like that, probably take that off. It is nice to have that damage increase, especially to a big boss or something, if you can just position yourself right. Rei can do that with big bosses. He can just get on the side of the screen that he needs to and start dropping his S2. You know, as long as the boss's back is turned to you, great. All right. Skill 1 breakthrough. Skill 1 damage cap plus 500, or when a single weapon is equipped, it's 1000 instead. For 2 SC, all right. I definitely did that because, well, like I said, Rei's S1 is an awesome sniper move. Let's see, if I compare it to Melee's, I think his actually goes off quicker. It moves a little bit faster. This is just like my opinion. And it snipes. It can shoot diagonally across the screen. You cannot hide from Rei's S1. And that is really cool, right? And it's his hardest ability to interrupt, so why not boost it a little bit with Skill 1 Breakthrough? We just got this ability too off of one of the recent arcs, so this was my chance to play around with it a little bit. I would like to put encouragement on him too. just to get some MP back between each wave, right? Haven't really got that far. I was even going to try something with there and head bash, because they're one of the passive, or not passive, but the secondary ability on it, besides increasing break, is increase your chance to feint somebody. So I was going to potentially try some sneaky ass shit for arena. And actually I rocked Dusk for a while because I wasn't doing anything with Rei's MP, so it would just stay full the whole time, so why not get defensive mind 20% out of it? Right, if you're not planning on doing anything with Rei's MP, Dusk is pretty good, right? Sky High I didn't put on him, but that would empower his S3 greatly. Surprise attack, enemies from the back, 50% more damage. Right? These are things that you want to have on any boss killing character. You at least want access to them. If they dropped a boss right now, that's like one of these, a quarter of the screen size bosses, and you could actually get behind them and do backstab damage, oh hell yeah, I would be turning surprise attack and backstab on all of my primary damage characters and trying to go for that weakness for sure. So he has them. They're not equipped right now. We do have a spear boost on, right? Why not empower the spear a little bit? So we have 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We have about 15 SC that we set aside for the spear. And I can take the spear boost away, right? And I could choose, Sky High or probably surprise attack. I would rather take surprise attack when applicable over spear boost, but I'm just trying different things out here. Here's there when hitting an attribute weakness, which he's good at doing because he can lower attribute by so much, right? That anima is 20% Emperor to lightning and 20% Emperor to dark, right? Chances are there's going to be a weakness there, and you got now your attacks are more likely to feint the enemy, and you have break plus 50%. On top of Rei's Claw that has break plus 50%. That there is pretty damn gnarly, right? So I think that's staying on him. Here's the illusion that we still need 3 SC to get it to fit. Revenge Menace, I thought about that too. That wouldn't be bad. Because remember, the higher your mind goes, the more hit points you recover from Proud Force. Right? And Rei is critting like a mug, so that Proud Force is going off, especially when he's dropping that S3 and shooting enemies up into the air. The spear that I have him equipped with gives him plus 10% to the crit, which means, if you get your mind up and you're critting, and now you're healing more per crit because your mind is higher. Yeah, I just think that's pretty cool. So something to keep in mind. Mind does matter when you're Proud Forcing. All right, so Advanced Aim Vitals. Of course, we were going to give him this for 6 SC. They do give him an Aim Vital, so they save you some SC there. But they're like, no, if you want to carve out the deep heavy crits, you're going to cough up the SC for it. And of course, we did, right? Demon Lord's Awaken, I think this is just like a must for him. If you have this arc, it's one of the first things you want to teach him. Rei didn't know this ability. This isn't something I went out of my way to teach Rei in his other form. So when I got Rei out of the box, I didn't have Demon Lord's Awakening taught on him to put on him. And that really, that took me for a ride, right? That took me for a ride because I effectively got to run Rei out of the box without his flinch proof. And it was kind of like, oh shit, what is going on here? Yeah, I flashed back to the mage fight at the White Lab where there was like 2 mages casting on him. And he was just getting the shit beat out of him because there's nothing you could do to get any of his abilities off. Like we literally burned through his whole ability kit and maybe connected with like 1 or 2 things, right? And yeah, if I would have just taken Rei in there with any debuff at all, even one, those spells wouldn't be able to interrupt me like that. It is a completely different effing fight now. Going in there with even one debuff, right? This is actually giving you two. So you're starting off with Lostoma and Blazer, right? So that's two separate debuffs. So you're getting two stacks. You need at least one stack to become flinch proof to magic, and another stack increases your damage cap and your, I think, elemental lightning damage or skill damage, whatever. You're getting more damage and more damage cap, and most importantly, the damn flinch proof. So this would have made a world of a difference running him out of the box like this. He also wasn't equipped with the alcohol, and the alcohol gives you, I don't think it's drain, it's some kind of debuff. And again, that is just enough to turn his flinch proof on. So had I equipped him with the alcohol, he would at least be starting the fight buffed. But I didn't. So I actually had to worry there about Rei. I'm like, are they really going to do him like this? FML. So interestingly enough, we did skip over Thunder High Boost because it's Thunder Magic damage. I could have sworn there was another one. It's more SC. Thunder High Boost. No, it's one of the Thunder Attack Rise. We'll get there. We have Berserker in here. We do have Berserker in here. Why not? Physical attack damage 30%. Causes continuous hit point decrease. As far as I can tell, the Proud Force more than makes up for that, right? And really, you kind of want a way to drain Rei's health, right? Because 5% of his health at a time is giving you a stack. And that stack is increasing your damage and your damage cap up to 10,000 damage cap. So you want to get those stacks up. Yeah, I feel like Berserker is not bad for him. It's giving you that 30%, and this guy is more than capable of proud forcing the shit out of some shit. We are talking about Rei. He has a decent hit point pool, right? He's not going to be low on the hit points, that's for sure. Not going to have as much as Divine Beast Rei, but, you know, we'll be 4,000 hit points short. Not the end of the world, but definitely enough to take on some Berserker, and it just fits his theme. Why wouldn't he have Berserker? Here we have the Kanu spear style. The Kanu spear style. The damn spear style I've been talking about. I just think this thing's worth it. It's the number one thing you should get if you are rocking a spear. This doesn't matter if you're dual wielding or single wielding a spear. It's when a spear is equipped, physical damage 15%, and chance to nullify enemy guard. So just to nullify an enemy guard, that costs 6 SC. That piercing effect alone, to take piercing, is like 6 SC last time I checked, right? So for 3 more SC, you're getting 15% more damage. I think that's totally worth it, especially to a character that doesn't have anything piercing or anything that gives him a piercing ability or an ability to negate enemy guard in his kit. And come on, this guy's going to be a boss killer. Most bosses are going to have some kind of guard built in. So this is just cool. This is like getting 2 birds stoned at once. Again, you do have to pay the 2 SC to equip a spear on him, but I would obviously bring the spear style before I bring any spear boosts or anything like that, right? Of course, we have sharp eyes. There is a problem here, though. We don't have any way of getting any MP back, but like I got this guy to like 90 SC, and he's running around, and I'm like, okay, we're not taking advantage of our MP at all. We're not using it at all. Right, so let's throw some sharp eyes there and just get a huge damage boost. Like, because I'm running through this this boss wave, we're just fighting this damn boss, and we're trying to kill it in 30 seconds to get, you know, an S rank and to get 3 tickets at a time instead of 2. So it's probably not going to be a very long fight anyway, and who cares if I get my MP back. I did run Rei in tower, and I would bring sharp eyes with me if I took that other ability that lets you regenerate 5% of your MP every single wave that you go to, right? And I need to find some way to slowly replenish Rei's MP somehow, right? So I think that ability costs 2 SC, something like that. But for now, I at least threw Sharp Eyes because, like, why not, right? We're not doing anything with our MP. Um, we have Giant Killing, of course, for the boss. What is that, 20% more damage to bosses? Exactly. We're going to make sure that we cap. And, of course, Savage Strike. Accuracy slightly reduced. Physical attack damage plus 50%. I've always thought Savage Strike was good. That is dope, right? You're getting 50% more damage here. For the same 9SC, you're getting 20% more damage only to bosses, right? Now, yeah, you're going to miss with some of your attacks here and there, but ultimately, in the grand scheme of things, I think that plus 50% is awesome. Savage Strike was just dope. I'm so glad that this was not, for whatever reason, when I first saw it, I thought Savage Strike was going to be locked into two-handed weapons only, but no, it's not. So I dig Savage Strike. I use it everywhere I can. Gaze of the End is an option for Rei 2. It's not bad to have this on him. Minus 10% to all resistances. So then he drops his enema. So then you're going to have minus 30 resistance to lightning, minus 30 resistance to dark, and minus 10 to everything else. And that's before you throw Weaken on top of it, and then Flame Circle, or whichever one lowers lightning resistance.